Hi. Oh my gosh, it's been a long time. It's so good to see you. We're live. We're live. All right. I know I didn't give you a lot of warning or advance notice that there was going to be a live stream today. So I'm going to give you a little bit of time. I'm going to let the notifications kick in. If you don't know me, if you're new here, hi, my name is Stephanie Perry. I am a year round house sitter and I help Black women take a sabbatical to travel on a budget. So make sure that you're subscribed, hit that subscribe button if that sounds interesting to you. I don't usually go very long in between videos, so normally you can expect weekly videos. That has not happened for the last, I think, 6 weeks. Don't be mad at me, but it's been about 6 weeks. But it's because of something very big and very important that I did that I was working on, which we'll talk about today. So today's video is going to be about number one, why now is the time to get started with house sitting, right? We're going to talk about the reasons why now is go time, okay? And number two, today we're going to talk about the big thing that I did, which is called Exodus Summit. We're going to talk about Exodus Summit and some things that I learned, and hopefully we'll talk about some things that you learned. So if you're here live, say hi to me in the chat. If you're watching the replay, say hi to me in the comments. Live streams with me are pretty chill. You can ask me what questions you have and I will answer them. And that's pretty much how it goes. If you're not watching the live stream and you're still, you have questions, leave them in the comments. You know how YouTube is. They will tell me that you've left me a question or a comment and I will come back to it. Okay? All right. So I want to talk about house sitting and why now is go time. All right. The time between Thanksgiving and Martin Luther King Day is house sitting fiesta. It's like it's party time for house sitters. This is when you get to go where you want and enjoy yourself, as long as you're good with house sitting during the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Martin Luther King Day. As long as you're good with being in someone else's home during those times, this is go time. If you've been thinking about, hi, I need to house sit, but I just haven't gotten started, it's go time. Like this, this is not a drill. This is go time. Even with COVID, and we'll talk some about COVID, even with COVID, now is still time, especially for new house sitters. If your concern is that you don't have reviews yet, you want to start house sitting, I can't tell you enough. This is house sittings, like boom season. This is the boom season. Okay, really nice to see you guys. Hi. Hi, Adelia. Adelia is Picky Girl Travels the World. Adelia was a speaker and a participant in Exodus Summit. So good to see you guys. Hi, Cassandra, Linda, Sarah, and hi. Francine, Amanda, Justice, hi. Oh my gosh, I missed you. She says, I've been tired of sharing you with Facebook. Aw. Hey, Tanisha. All right, so I'm not kidding. There's no joking about this being a good time to house sit, a good time to get started. The steps to getting started are very simple. You sign up on Trusted House Sitters, you complete your profile, you search for house sits. It's very simple. You find a house sit in a place that you want to be when you want to be there. You apply for that house sit. I have a whole toolkit for you to get you started, which I will put here. It's a toolkit for house sitters. It includes like the link to Trusted House Sitters. It includes the letter that I actually send, the email, the message that I actually send, the template for it to get booked, the template for that message that tells people that I am the person that they want to house sit for them. And it includes some other fun stuff, some things that keep you comfortable while you're house sitting, right? Discounts for, I think there's a discount for DoorDash and Instacart, like the Wi-Fi, which I just got, the Wi-Fi router, which is Skyroam, right? There's a link to Skyroam. So there's some other stuff in there that keeps you comfortable while you're house sitting somewhere. Because there's some house sits in some places that are a little more remote that I like. That you might need some extra support. It's not like house sitting in Washington, D.C., where you walk out the door to the grocery store. Some places are a little more remote and you need to do a little extra planning to be comfortable there. Okay, it's taking me this long to type in this link because I can't talk and type. Y'all already know. housesit.vicarious.com/toolkit. Okay. Hi, Lee. Empress Vibes, hi. Aquarian Gypsy, hi. Okay, so this is the toolkit. This has what you need to get started and to be comfortable as a house sitter. Go ahead and get yours if you haven't gotten it already. This link to Trusted House Sitters is not a discounted link, it's the regular link. Okay, so there's a weird thing. Trusted House Sitters has given me an ambassador link, but I can't put it on the internet. I can email it to you, but I can't put it on the internet. So if you go here, you'll and you want the special discounted link, there's a thing in there to email me to get that. Okay, but if you're just fine with paying $129 is a good deal if you're talking about house sitting, getting free travel accommodation, whether it's for one trip out of the year or for like 3 months out of the year, or what I do sometimes 12 months out of the year. You can't beat it. So either way, you're good to go. People are still traveling for Thanksgiving. Especially if you're West Coast, they seem to be doing more. So if you want to house sit, Northern California, Southern California, all over Colorado, Washington State, these people seem to be moving about. There are house sits there. I'm not interested in going anywhere right now that requires me to get on a plane. But this is for you. Like it's up to you. I have flown during the pandemic. I have flown. And I will fly again. I'm actually flying in December. So I'm not saying it's not good to fly, right? I'm just saying it depends on where you want to be. Normally this time of year, there are a bunch of like New York City and New Jersey high-rise house sits, like where you can go and get your Rockefeller Center life on. I'm not seeing them right now. They may pop up a little bit later because we still have some time. This is when people start scheduling house sitters for Thanksgiving and Christmas. We still have some time. So if you're into cold weather house sitting, those are usually on the site. And so you want to be prepared so that you can see them. I see them every year and I'm like, oh, wow, Christmas in New York City. And then I'm like, oh, I don't do that. That's not even like me. I'm getting carried away. Yeah, I'm getting carried away here. All right, Justice, timing is perfect. I can't wait to get into this upgrade package. Yeah. Okay. So Jess is talking about Exodus Summit. Exodus Summit. Trusted House Sitters gave Exodus Summit attendees a discount, which was 35% on their membership. Yeah. If you're one of these people and your discount code isn't working, I will give you my other discount code, which is the same. I mean, a different code, but you still get 35 or 40% off. I'm going to Mexico to my regular. I'm going to Lake Chapala, Mexico to house it for one of my regulars for all of December. I'm now looking for January and February so that I can stay all winter long. I think I'm not having success booking January and February right now because I'm in the US and they're concerned that I'm not going to be able to get to Mexico because of COVID. So what's going to happen is I'm going to get to Mexico for the December house sit that I already have booked and then get the ball rolling to book January and February down there. I always have a plan B. So my plan B is just to hang out with Adelia. If I don't get booked, I'm just going to Mexico City and ding dong, knock on her door. Hi, I'm here. Welcome to me. But seriously, I do plan to stay in Mexico, whether I'm house sitting or not. I'll stay down there. I'm just going to find some places to hang out. Mexico City, I've only been for one night. I had like a 24-hour layover in Mexico City. And I enjoyed it. I liked the place that I stayed, and they had good food. So that little bit of an experience was good enough for me to want to go back and spend some significant time there. I would also consider going back to Guanajuato, which is where I really love being. There are not house sits in Guanajuato, though, because there are not a lot of Americans and Canadians. House sitting is big among Americans and Canadians and British people and Australians and Europeans and all. Not super big among actual Mexicans. But San Miguel de Allende, which is not far from Guanajuato, is a big house sitting place. It's a place where you can go and get booked. And they're in the same state. The state is Guanajuato, and then there's a Guanajuato city and a San Miguel is another city, and Querétaro, which I can't say. So anyway, I'm just talking about Mexico because I miss it. I'm talking about all my favorite places. Adelia says, come on down. That's my plan. So I do plan to be down there, and I hope I get to see you face to face. See you in person, real life, sometime January, February. Aquarian Gypsy is in Oaxaca. I looked at Oaxaca. That's a place that I would definitely consider if I'm going to spend 2 months down there and I don't have a house sit booked. It's definitely a place that I would like to get to because I've never been that far south. I've never been so as much time as I've spent in Mexico. I've in the last 2 years. I think I spent 1 year. Right out of the last 2 years, I spent 12 months or more in Mexico, and I've never been south of like Mexico City. I've never been east of Mexico City. I've never been to those beaches over there, and I've never been down to Oaxaca, and So I hope to get down there. So yes, so I'm gonna keep you posted. I'll keep you posted if I get down as far to you, then I will holler. Holler at you. All right, Tanisha, I've applied for a couple house sits and they're interested in me house sitting. Wait, I can't see the whole comment, but someone always beats me to it. Yeah, so here's what we have to do, Tanisha. We need to get the app. Do you have the app so that you can be one of the first people to apply for a house sit in in a region that you want to get to? I'm about to drop the links to these, but it's going to take me a second. Bear with me. So the way that you get booked when you're new and you don't have reviews yet, you need a complete profile. You need a letter of reference from someone, just a letter of reference on your account, on your profile, because it'll show up. And then you need to be one of the very first people to apply. So you need to do some searches. Let me find the link. That was here. Okay, so here's, I'm gonna drop 2 links. Copy that. Okay, so you need okay, I hope that's 2 separate links. Okay, so there's an iPhone app and then the non-iPhone app. Android is what it's called. So get the app, they're free, right? Get the app, do a search for what you want, right? So I did Mexico, December and January, right? For the whole country of Mexico, because I'm wide open. But you could be as specific or as narrow as you want or as broad as you want. Do that search and then save that search. You can save it on your computer. So if you're searching on your laptop, there's a little button that says save, or a little heart that says save this search. You can save the search there, but I recommend that instead you do it on the phone app and save the search there, okay? Because when a new house sit pops up that meets that search criteria, you will be alerted. If you do the search on your laptop or on your computer, you'll get an email, which is not helpful if the email just sits in your inbox, like my inbox. I don't know what y'all's looks like, but I literally have 6,000 unread emails in my so not exaggerating. My phone's on my desk, or I would show you. So that's not helpful to me, but the alert on the phone is helpful. So I use the app. You do a search, save the search. I'm not talking about saving that particular house sit. I'm talking about save the search. It'll say save this search. Save the search. You get an alert when a house sit pops up that meets your criteria. You use my letter that you've already adjusted to fit you, to sound like you, right? You use that template letter that you already have gotten from my toolkit, but make sure this sounds like you, adjust it, because it really does sound like me. I couldn't undo it, right? It doesn't, I couldn't undo that part. So copy it, paste it, change the dates, add in their name. Hello, John and Sally. I would love to house sit your adorable muffin on these dates. I will be in the country for, this amount of time. My schedule is flexible or not flexible, fit it to meet you and be one of the first. I can't tell you how many times people are like, wow, you're fast. I just applied. I'm like, yeah, I want you to see my application first. Okay. So those are the keys. Completed profile, saved search, and then also the good letter of reference. It doesn't have to be anything special. The letter of reference is sometimes something that gets people hung up. It doesn't have to be anything special, just that you have it, that you have a person who can say, Jess is amazing. She is dependable. She does what she says she's going to do. She helped me out in this situation. I know her because we are coworkers or neighbors or roommates or whatever. So, so that's the key to getting your very first house sit when you don't have any reviews yet. Yeah, so it's time for people to be looking for house sitters for Christmas, for Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's time. And like I said, people do seem to still be traveling, more so on the West Coast, but the East Coast may be waiting a little bit longer to play, to see how things are going. But some people will travel no matter what. We know that. Some people will go no matter what. That's and then you decide whether or not you want to house sit no matter what, right? No matter what the situation is. I house sat in New Orleans during lockdown. They were on phase two. Is it two or B or whatever? So bars were closed. You had to be a restaurant that served food. They had social distancing. I think they were at 30% capacity for restaurants when I was down there. I didn't go down there to party and have fun. So I didn't even go in a restaurant. I Instacarted and Grubhubbed and DoorDashed my way around New Orleans restaurants. I ate good, but I did not go in one restaurant. I did go to the grocery store a couple of times, but I never went in a restaurant. And it was still, I had a good time. If you follow me on Insta, I had a good time. I took pictures in beautiful homes with adorable pets and walked around the city and took amazing pictures of the town. So that's why now is the time. When you're new, it's best to get started at a time when more house sits are available, right? That's this time of year. November through the middle of January, house sits are available. It's also big, house sitting is also big during, of course, spring break week and normally during the summer. This summer was a little bit slow, but normally during the summer, that's also a good time. But there's no bad time. Having said that this is boom time, there's no really bust season. Even during COVID-19, if you wanted to house sit, you could house sit. So they're happening, but they're just, slow, less. They're less. And definitely house sits are a lot shorter. I haven't seen a whole lot of really long house sits. People are not necessarily going for 2 and 3 months like they would. Canadians, like this time of year, normally Trusted House Sitters home screen would be Lake House in Canada, Ontario High Rise, Lake House in Canada. They're not doing, Canadians seem to be staying put right now. Or if they're going for shorter periods of time. So that's expected. That's to be expected. But that doesn't mean that you can't get started house sitting. If you're a person who is planning to take a significant amount of time off, right? Which a lot of you guys are. If you're planning to take a sabbatical or take a career break or just move abroad and you want to do some house sitting for that reason, it's good to go ahead and get started. It's good to get that first review under your belt. Get that first house sit and that first review under your belt so that you know that you like it and you know that you'll be able to book other house sits. For someone who's new, who does not have my Trusted House Sitters, this is my Trusted House Sitters link to them. If you sign up using my link, I get a share. This is not a discount link. Okay, remember, I can't put my discount link on the internet. So if you get that toolkit, I will send you my discount link, but I can't just put it on the internet. I'm just not kidding. They tell me that all the time. All right. Hello, Julia from Brazil. Does that mean you're Julia? Or is that only in Spanish? Hello. All right. Okay. And Aquarian Gypsy says she's going to send me the email. Okay, good. Send me the email. If you don't want to wait until I think you may have, I don't know if you have the toolkit or not. Here's my email address just in case. Stephanie@vicarious.com is my email address. All right. So we've talked about why it's a good time, but let's talk about why house sitting, right? What I learned from Exodus Summit, which was or is a sabbatical summit for Black women travelers, right? Exodus Summit was hosted by me and Rashida Dow, who is Sheeta's on the Loose. What I learned from that is more of us are looking to make a more long-term move. Hey, Sheeta. Hi, friend. What I learned is a lot of us are looking to make more of a long-term transition, right? I thought that more women would be interested in sabbaticals. The numbers say more of us were interested in actually moving abroad long-term. House sitting is a fantastic way to try out a place, right? To get someplace. I would never have known about Lake Chapala, Mexico, if I hadn't house sat. I found a house sit there. It was for a full month, and I was like, okay, I like long house sits. Well, at the time, I didn't know if I liked long house sits, but I wanted to try one. I literally Googled Lake Chapala and saw it's the largest lake in Mexico. And there was a picture of a couple of neighborhoods that looked really like colonial. It's a colonial town. It's a combination of like a colonial town and like more modern, mix. And then I went there for a month. And or no, well, I thought I was going there for a month. I ended up staying for 6 months. I loved it. My mom, who was just here, hi mom, she came down to visit. She loved it. I wouldn't know about that place at all if I hadn't house sat there, right? So there could very well be some spot on this globe that you would love to be, and you just need to find out about it. And house sitting is a good way to just find out about places. It's easy to find out about like major tourist places and stuff. But there are these small towns that can be comfortable and where you can find and build a community of people, but you just don't know because you don't know. There are communities everywhere. You don't know what you're going to like. House sitting is a great way to find that out. That's what I learned during Exodus Summit, that a lot of us are looking for something more long term, which I totally understand. Because times they are a changing. So I totally understand, or they're not changing, I guess is the problem. Times they ain't changing, which is why so many of us are looking to make an exodus that is permanent or at least super long term, indefinite, more than just 1 year. So I think that house sitting is a great way to transition into that, right? If you're free, right? If you have free time and no real place to be, which is the dream, I'm telling you, you will love it. You probably have not experienced that in your life. I have. I'm here to tell you. It's why I'm smiling. Having no place to be is an amazing feeling. When you know you could do whatever. So house sitting is a way to get you there, right? House sitting is a way to transition from where you are now and what you're doing now into what you will be doing in the future that you don't even know. Like you don't even know yet. So Jess says, I have an idea. Do you think screenshots of my reviews from an Airbnb guest would be helpful? I don't think so. So the review section, so you really want a reference so not instead of a reference, maybe in addition to a reference. Okay. I can't show you because my profile is completed. And so it won't show you. If you don't have any reviews and you don't have anyone who's filled out a reference, there is a missing spot. And that tells people that you're new. And it may cause house sitting clients to just scroll past you. So you must have someone fill out a reference for you to get that first house sit. I think that's crucial. Now, if you're talking about just as one of your pictures on your profile, you can do it. I don't know if it'll help. I don't know because I don't know how much reading and scrolling people are willing to do. Every client is different. People are different. So it couldn't hurt, but get the reference. Don't do it in lieu of a reference. The reference has to come from a person that you email them like this form template, and then they email it back. It's really like two things: a star review, like they give you a star number, I think, and then like a paragraph. It's very easy. Quiet as it's kept, you can write it for someone. You can ask them, okay, don't do it. Don't break the rules, okay, but follow the rules. You can ask someone to be your reference and say, I've written, if they're like, yeah, but I don't, I've written this for you, make it your own, and then send it in for me, please. If that's what you have to do, that would work better than not having any letter of reference in there. But it can be anyone, a coworker or a supervisor, a landlord, a roommate, anyone who can say she is reliable and she's caring. If you're talking about pet sitting, add something in there. She is a caring, kind person. Whatever, right? Even if you've taken care of someone's cat while they went on vacation, that is someone who should be giving you a reference. My reference, as I've said, is I went to Australia and I did a work exchange through Workaway. And my work exchange responsibilities were to get the kids. I stayed with the family. I got the 2 kids up and dressed and ready for school. I fed them breakfast and I packed their lunch and I drove the carpool. right? So, of course, she was a fantastic person to give me a reference. That reference was amazing. That reference was what got me my first house sit. Because my first house sit, the lady found me, the client found me, which is something that happens on Trusted House Sitters. There were not a lot of Delaware house sitters available. So she went scrolling through. She needed someone quickly. She found me. My reference was amazing. She booked me. Boom. She gave me a good reference. Okay. So no to using the Airbnb in lieu of, instead of a reference, but okay to using it in addition to a reference. You can use it as one of your photos. Okay. My mom, hi mom. my mom is so in love with Ajijic, Mexico. It's crazy. I don't think you're going there this winter. She keeps saying that. I'm like, every time she says it, I'm like, I don't think you're going. We'll see. We'll see is what I keep telling her. We'll see. I'm going. But I don't know that COVID-19 is going to mean that she's going to be able to go and come back very quickly, right? I'm going, and if I get stuck there, I'm okay. She wants to go, but if you get stuck down there, Mom, it's going to be a problem. Dad is not going to be happy with that. So I don't know that you're going this winter. Okay, I don't know how many I don't know how many times I have to say that to you. Okay, do they call your reference? No, they don't call your reference. It's like a little form on the website where you put their email address in. They send. Well, now it's kind of different. So you put their email address in. You send the form to yourself and then forward it to them, and then they send it back, and then boom, it's on your profile. Sarah, she's not going. Miss Perry, I hope you have a blast. She ain't going nowhere. She is not leaving this country this year. I don't think. All right. Okay, so I hope that answers the question about the profile thing. Not the profile thing, about the letter of reference. Okay. Some of you guys, I don't know. Let's see. Some of you, I think we have a mix of people, of ladies who did participate in Exodus Summit and ladies who did not participate in Exodus Summit. If you feel totally left out because you don't know what Exodus Summit is, I'm sorry, but you should open your email, right? Because I've been emailing you about it. I have not been that diligent on Instagram, but I did email you about Exodus Summit many a time. Exodus Summit was a sabbatical summit, or it's still there, a sabbatical summit for Black women travelers, for Black women who want to take a sabbatical or who want to plan their move abroad. It was an amazing event with 54 speakers and live Q&As happening in Facebook and co-working sessions happening over on Zoom. If you feel left out right now because you didn't participate in Exodus Summit, well, here's what we can do, okay? You can go to exodussummit.com and you can watch for free for 48 hours some of these sessions. Check them out. Check out the sessions on exodussummit.com that speak to you, that sound like something that's going to help you. For 48 hours, you can watch them for free. 48 hours is not enough time to watch them, okay? So upgrade to that replay ticket. You get access to these for 2 years while you're planning your sabbatical, while you're planning your move abroad, okay? Exodus Summit was a game changer, a life changer, okay? I'm not going to pretend like it wasn't. Exodus Summit was a life changer, and it's not too late for you to get in on it. We also have a Facebook group for the summit where the party's not over, where we're still doing stuff. We still have bonus sessions. We just had a bonus session on Thursday. So whenever you're watching this, if you're watching from the future, hi, it's not too late, okay? exodussummit.com, you'll get what you need. Queen of DC, let her live. She can live in the United States. My mom is not going to Mexico until COVID says she can go to Mexico. Hi, Wendy and Jay Freedom. Hi, Jay Freedom is the author of We Out. So Jay, you've seen some book sales. Exodus Summit attendees loved your talk, loved your live Q&A, and they love your book. I hope you've been on Amazon. You've seen that they've been buying your book. Jay's book is We Out, A Guide to Ending Our Abusive Relationship with America. If I could do it fast enough, I would link to it. But our attendees were all in on Jay's book and on Jay's talks. So if you, I don't know, I can't get to. I'm not going to be able to get to it fast enough. But if you go to ExodusSummit.com, you'll see Jay's talk, and then in Jay's talk, you'll see the links to Jay's book, and then or expo. You can go up to the expo, and you'll see the link to Jay's book. Yeah, it's going to take me too long to get to it. All right. Exodus Summit is the best thing ever. It's going to change your life. It's going to change your life. I don't care when you're seeing this video. I don't care. So Exodus Summit was September 21st through the 27th of 2020. I don't care if it's 2024. It's going to change your life. Go to ExodusSummit.com and check it out. Rashida is the co-host. Rashida and I hosted Exodus Summit together. We didn't know what was going to be so awesome about it. So we thought we're going to have like 24 speakers, like 24 talks, and we're going to do some like a group, a Facebook group, and that'll be it. It became 54 talks. It became live Q&As. It became a live stream where people met and formed a community with each other, which is something that you never really think about when you're doing something. Like even here, when I'm doing a live stream, I forget that you guys are going to meet each other and talk to each other and become friends just from a chat, right? So imagine this chat on 1,000, right? That's the community that some of these women formed in Exodus Summit. Yeah, and in our Facebook group, which is still a thing. So I do want to give you the link, some links. I should. So sometimes I always think that I am prepared with links to things, and then I'm like, oh, but I don't have quite enough. So here's the Facebook group for Exodus Summit. I'm going to do a full video on Facebook groups because another thing that I learned during the summit is how crucial Facebook groups are to your success in moving abroad or taking a sabbatical. I knew that Facebook groups helped me, but not one speaker, not one talk ended without them mentioning how important groups were to getting to a new place, finding a group of people in the place that you want to go and connecting with them, forming a community with them before you even get there. Crucial. So we have a group, of course, it's called Exodus Summit. Rashida and I are there. We're still doing some bonus sessions, but I'm going to do a full video on some of my favorite groups because they are crucial. They're more helpful than, even more helpful than I thought they were, even though I knew that they were helpful for me. I just didn't know the magnitude, right? I didn't know that how they were helping other people too. Moms who are traveling with kids, anybody, travelers with disabilities, anybody. Lori, we're doing our first house sit as a family next month. I learned from watching you. Yes, Lori, tell us where we're going and tell us a little bit about, actually, Lori, can you email me? Because if you want to talk on this channel, I want to talk to you because one thing I don't know, looking at your picture, you have little children, not like 15, 16. So I did talk to one mom who took her 14-year-old, I think, but I would like to talk to you more about this. So tell us, can you tell me how old your kids are and how, I don't know. So email me, Lori. I want to know how difficult it was for you to get this house sit with children. I know that people love, there's my email, Stephanie@vicarious.com. I know that people, even though I said I have 6,000 unread emails, it's not that inbox. I do a better job with that inbox. But I have another couple inboxes that are just past redemption. But I do want to know what is the curve for a new house sitter with children, right? Because I don't have experience with that. I know people who house sit with pets, spouses, but with smaller children, I would like to talk to you more. So please, I'm begging. I don't know if you can, I am begging you, Lori, please. More info, please. So if you feel okay, email me. I would love to talk to you about that. I would love to, about getting booked. And then maybe we can talk after the house sit and see how it went for the kids. But I did know that it was a thing. I just don't know anyone who house sits with children. But I do, yes, it's a thing. Shanae saying house sitting with a family. Yeah, I know it's a thing. Tanaj and Tino house sat with so I did a video with Tanaj and Tino, and they house sat once with their 14-year-old, but they already had reviews house sitting as a couple. And then it was easier for them to do. They did a house sit together while their son was with family members. And then it was easier to book their next house sit because they already had reviews as a couple. They could book a house sit with him. So I would like to know how that process went, starting from scratch with small children, 10, 13, and 15. Okay, I would love to talk to you. So that's my email address if you want to talk on the channel. And everyone wants you to email me, right? Everyone is hoping that you'll email me. Yes, Shanae says she wants to know more. I agree. We all want it. We need to know more, Shanae. Yeah, because that's something I don't know. Queen of DC, Jay's session was awesome. I just told someone about her book and the person was inspired and motivated. Absolutely. Jay's session, I think we did a survey. If you haven't gotten your email for the survey, check your email for that survey. I think Jay's was one of the top 10. And out of 54 talks, that's a lot. That's hard to break into the top 10 when you have a million talks. But hers was up there. It might have been top 3. Well, I know Wanda's was number 1. Wanda's session on giving yourself permission to leave was the number 1 talk. And I knew it would be. I knew it would be before Wanda finished the talk. Like before she sent us the talk. When she sent the title and a couple of bullet points, I wanted to get up and run around the room. I was like, this is what we want. This is what the people need. So anyway, ExodusSummit.com is where you can find that information. Yes. So Aquarian Gypsy says, I use the link in your toolkit. Yeah, like I said, the discount link, I cannot put it on the internet, right? So you have to email me. There should be a thing for you to email me in the toolkit. If not, then I need to fix that. There should be a button that says email me. Or just email me, Stephanie@vicarious.com, and I'll send you that one. I'm not kidding. They have a problem with those coupon sites, right? So if I put it on my thing, then the coupon site could troll for it, or whatever that word is, crawl for it. And then boom, it's on the coupon site, and everyone in the world has access to this big 40% discount, which they don't want. Educated Queen, have I ever house sat a home without pets? Yes. I prefer pets, but yes. People like their plants and they want someone to take care of their plants. These are usually people who are traveling for a long time, 2, 3, 6, 8 months. Not a weekend, a 4-day weekend for Thanksgiving. So if you're traveling long-term, or if you're available to travel long-term, or if you're working remotely or whatever, it is possible. It's a little less possible now, but it is possible. Right now during COVID, people just aren't doing that kind of travel yet, but it won't be long. So maybe if you want to get one under your belt beforehand, you can do that so that when these house sits come back in full force, you'll be ready. You'll be fully prepared and reviewed so you can get going. So yes, but, right? So yes, I have done those house sits without pets, but they're harder to come by, especially right now. But also, I always tell people, don't forget that not all pets are furry pets. There are fish sits and turtle sits and backyard chicken sits. So you don't have to, just because you don't want to take care of cats and dogs doesn't necessarily mean that pet sitting won't work for you. Because I see fish sits a lot. Rabbit sits, which I guess the rabbits are still furry, but maybe people are okay with that. I don't do rabbits. I had a bad experience. When I was a kid, we had rabbits and no. So I am afraid. We had rabbits and I'm afraid of rabbits. That's how that goes. So, but there are different, right? Just look on the site. I put the little link, my link, or you guys already have that. And in the toolkit, you'll see my affiliate link to them. So just look on the site and see what's available. Like I said, right now, COVID means that travel is very specific. But broad, like travel will be back. And when it comes back, those house sits will be back. Okay, thanks. She's emailed me. Okay, great. All right. So if anyone wants to, easy peasy, I'll email you. Okay, good. All right. So I think I've all caught up on the chat, which never happens. And we have begged Lori enough to email me. So I hope that happens so that we can talk about family house sitting. And I've told you how wonderful Exodus Summit was. Thank you to those of you who were there and who participated. I appreciate you. You made it wonderful. You made it wonderful. You took it from people watching videos to people forming a community. So thank you for that. We can't thank you enough for what you brought to the summit. What happened with the rabbit? I don't want to tell you. Well, I guess it's just that I don't want to tell you. So the rabbits, they lived outside in a fenced-in area, and they used to get on top of their hutch and jump off over the fence off into neighbors' yards to eat their flowers. And one time they didn't make it, and then they were impaled on the fence. Okay. So it was, oh, and I walked outside and they did, okay, so they both, I believe, my mom said, I don't remember this right, but I believe they both were impaled at two different times. I believe I walked out and saw one of them, and then the other one had the head stuck through the fence, and they were dead. I hate that story. But that's why I don't want, like, we have like wild rabbits. I'm fine with those. My dad has like a wild rabbit that comes and hangs out with him while he works in the garage. So I'm okay with those, but I'm not a fan of house rabbits. I can't do it. Even though ours didn't live in the house, but they looked like those. All right. I skipped your question. All right, Rhea, let me look for it. Good morning, Tia. Have you ever run into security cameras in any home you sat in? I'm laughing because I get this question all the time, and it's never something that I think about. So I have house sat in lots of houses with security cameras. People have cameras in their homes. It's 2020. People have cameras in their homes, and they always show them to me. I've never found a camera without someone already telling me that it's there. But I've never done a thorough like sweep or a search for a camera. But you would think sometimes you would find one if people were hiding a camera. I've never come across a hidden camera. But people do have cameras. They have a camera usually pointed at the front door, a camera pointed at the back door, camera pointed at where the pet sleeps or plays or whatever, especially if there are people who work and they want to check in on their little doggy cam while they're gone. And they always tell me they're there. Sometimes they say, if you don't want the cameras on, just cover them, or nobody's ever said unplug them, but they usually just say cover them, right? Just cover the camera if you don't want it on. I don't care, right? A camera means that nobody can blame me for something that I didn't do. So I don't care about the cameras. I've never found one in a room that I was staying in, like in a room or in a bathroom. That would be terrible. But these are people who are traveling and they need someone to come and care for their most beloved pet who they love and adore. And so they're not out to trick me into filming stuff, right? They're not out to trick me. They're not, here to set me up. These are people who need help so that they can live their travel dreams. I want to help them live their travel dreams. They're not looking to put me on the internet in the shower. So yeah, this is a certain type of person. A house sitting client is a certain type of person. A person who loves to travel and who loves their pet. And that kind of person is not there to trap me into something. So I haven't run into that issue or any other kind of like significant safety issue. Because for one thing, clients live and die by star reviews, and one bad review and that's it. Nobody's going to house sit for you anymore. If you're a pet owner and you want to travel some more and you think your pet is not going to handle travel well, get on Trusted House Sitters. We talked during the summit. We did a Q&A session with a homeowner that was sponsored by Trusted House Sitters. And she came in and talked about how she travels for work, and she travels a lot for work, and how that means that her dog can stay home and not be stressed out and not have to pay. Oh, I can't remember what she told me. She was paying an exorbitant amount when she was not doing when she was not bringing in a house sitter. She was paying an exorbitant amount to have someone take care of her pet. Now that she brings in a house sitter, $100 and some a year, everybody's happy. Yeah, so I worry about creepy homeowners. Yeah, so there's no, these are just a certain type of person. That's all I can say. People who bring in house sitters or pet sitters, they're a certain type of person. They want you to take care of their beloved Archie, and they want you to treat Archie like he's your own. They want you to love him. They want him to feel cared for. They're not out to trick you into, being filmed on the toilet or whatever your fear is. Mm-mm. That's not their game. All right. Tony, I don't know if I put this on already. Exodus Summit was life-changing. I'm so happy, overwhelmed, fulfilled, overjoyed, all of the words about what Exodus Summit has done and will continue to do. So, like I'm saying, it's okay if you weren't there live. You didn't miss it, right? So you missed the live thing, but you didn't miss the summit. You can still go to exodussummit.com and you can still get what you need from there and come join us on the Facebook group, and you can still get what you need, which is community. Speaking of community, this time, no, not this time last year. Anyway, speaking of community, I have a community for Black women who are planning a sabbatical. It's called She Sabbaticals, and it's open for registration. If you want to sign up to get group coaching on planning your sabbatical, and you want to get some, form a community of women. This is not a Facebook group, so we're not going to be on Facebook. We're going to try to stay away from Facebook where there are distractions and where people come and just like shoot the breeze. We're going to move this over to our own app so that we can handle our business and get our plan in place and work that plan until we can get out the door. Okay. I am inviting you to join She Sabbaticals, which is my community for Black women who want to take a sabbatical, who want to plan the sabbatical. I'm going to drop the link to that now. She Sabbaticals is group coaching plus community. Group coaching plus community. Okay, so we're not talking about a course that you're going to take. Rashida has a wonderful comprehensive course called From Burnout to Bliss. If you're a DIYer and you want to get some questions answered, She Sabbaticals is right for you. If you're not a DIY, if you want more, if you want more than some group coaching, then From Burnout to Bliss, where you can get comprehensive planning tools, or book one-on-one with me. Okay, so I do book one-on-one calls, one-on-one time where we can talk on your plan only. Okay. Group coaching is wonderful because you get not only what I know, but you get what the whole group knows. Somebody will ask a question that is so pertinent to you that you didn't even know you needed answered. Somebody will have information for you that you didn't even think about. I love group coaching, but it's not for everyone. So if you want individual time, if you want individual information, then you're going to need to book individual one-on-one time with me, which also is a thing. If you go to the Toolkit, go to the House Sitter Toolkit, you'll see how to book one-on-one with me if you're not into the group thing. Rashida's group, I believe, is closed, but you never know. All right. So so She Sabbaticals is open now. If you book, it's $37 per month. Okay. If you book a one-on-one call with me for 30 minutes, it's $60. So this is less than a one-on-one call with me. It's ongoing, $37 per month. You can get a 6-month package where instead of paying $222 for 6 months, you pay $185. So you pay for 5 months, you get that 6 month for free is what, that's how it works out. But it's basically the 6 months for the price of 5. If you join She Sabbaticals before the end of today, which is close, if you join She Sabbaticals on Sunday, what is today? October 18th, I believe. If you join She Sabbaticals today, you'll also get a jumpstart one-on-one with me, okay? Because this is a group coaching session, but if you join today, you'll also get a one-on-one call with me to jumpstart your planning. Another thing that I learned from Exodus Summit is that you know what you want to do, right? I thought that there were going to be a lot of women who are like, oh, this sounds cool, but I don't know, right? But you know what you want. A lot of us know exactly what we want to do. We may not know where we want to go, but we do know what we want to do, and we have some we have some of the plan in our mind. We just don't know how far along we are in planning, and we don't know where to go to get the other stuff to fill in the other pieces. So She Sabbaticals is where you can come to fill in those pieces, get get answers to those questions, get some experts, some guests will come in and teach us some stuff that I can't teach, right? Like we're talking about house sitting with kids. I can't teach that. So we're going to get some other people to come in, and we're going to get some community, right? We're going to form community, because I can't stress enough how important that is. You're not going to get a major transformation. You're not going to be able to overhaul your life. You're not going to be able to get out of the groove that's already set, right? That path, like you're walking somewhere and you're like in a groove. You know how you're walking in the forest or something, and there's like a path that's already worn into the ground. It's so hard to get out of that groove alone, because you don't have an example. You don't know how to do it, where to do it. When you have a group coaching program where you have someone who can help you and you have people who are walking alongside you, you can get out of that groove and you can make your own path. We're not talking about having a group of women who are all doing it together, because everyone's path is going to be different. But we're talking about them. They're just walking alongside. They're walking alongside you. So SheSabbaticals.com is there for you if this is what you're looking for. I'm inviting you to join. Check out the website. I'm inviting you to come in and get your plan together. Get your plan together. A lot of us have like a spring or fall 2021 date, and you just need those pieces to fall into place. And you also need some support to keep you from backing out, to keep you from saying, I changed my mind. I took a sabbatical September 2015. It was, I was leaving my pharmacy technician job. And I remember the day that I was supposed to give my 2 weeks. It was not really 2 weeks notice, because he did the schedule like 6 weeks in advance. So I think it was 6 weeks notice. And all of my coworkers on the night shift all knew that this is what I was doing, right? They all knew my plan, but my supervisor didn't know, because he didn't work with us. Or we didn't have a supervisor who came in on the night shift. So he didn't know. So I needed to go in and give him my notice. I had sold a lot of stuff. I had saved the money. I had bought the ticket. And I was so afraid to give him that notice. I think I gave it to him the next day. I think I didn't even do it the day I was supposed to do it. I did it the next day. And it would have been so easy for me to back out and just been like, can't do it, right? Fear is real. Fear is real. I don't let people say fear is not real. And it's real. You feel it. My body felt that fear. I didn't have anybody to say, I'm afraid. Because the people who I would have turned to say, I'm afraid to do this thing, would have been like, well, don't do it. Girl, you should be afraid. Don't do it. I didn't have that. So I had to encourage myself. But we're here. She Sabbaticals is here to encourage you, to get you from, I want to do this thing, to I'm doing this thing. Also, like I remember the day that I went to the airport to get on the plane. Also terrified. Actually, that was a different trip. So for my 40th birthday, I went to Brazil. I was terrified, and I prayed out loud. I said, Lord, I need help. And I was driving myself to the airport. I said out loud, Lord, I need help. And I looked up, and my dad's car was right in front of me. My dad has a license plate that you can't miss. He still has that license plate, even though he has a different car. And I was like, my dad and my mom were driving to the hospital in Philly to see their pastor. And I was driving to the airport in Philly to leave. I had already dropped my dog off at their house. And I mean, right in front of me. So you have to ask for help when you need help. That's one of the times that I learned to say what I want out loud. I'm still working on that, but I say what I want. Say the words. Be clear about what you want and say it out loud. I wasn't super clear. I was afraid to get on the airplane for some reason at that time. I'm still not big on flying. And I said out loud, Lord, I need help. And boom, my dad was right in front of me. I waved, I blew my horn until they pulled over. We were on I-95. My dad and my mom pulled over, and I stopped, and they hugged me, and they were like, oh, all right, we're going to the hospital, and, have a great trip. And boom, I felt great. Got on that plane and lived my life in Brazil. And that is the trip where everything changed for me. That's the trip where I learned that I could travel long term on a little bit of money. That's the trip where I met those young people, the waiter and the HVAC guy who were like, you need to quit your job and travel, and then go back and get your job later. Get your job back later. That one trip changed my life, and that 1 second in the car made me go on that trip just because I asked for help out loud. So the She Sabbaticals is a place where you can come, where you can ask for help out loud, and you don't have to be afraid that the people that you're asking for help from are going to be like, turn back. We're not going to tell you to turn back. We're going to push forward. Yeah. Okay, good. Amanda just sent the email for the house sitting toolkit. Good. The toolkit is house sit. You'd think I would have copied and pasted this. housesit.vacarious.com/toolkit. I did set up a shorter link. I wanted people to know, and it never works on YouTube. YouTube won't let me click to it. Won't let me link to it. Cynthia Tucker, pharmacy technician. Yeah, I was a pharmacy technician for 5 years in the Army, and then for 5 years in a civilian hospital in Newark, Delaware, at Christiana Hospital. I worked night shift. The job itself was good, but I didn't have a life, right? I didn't live. I just went to work. I came home. I sat on my sofa. I went to sleep on my sofa. I slept on my sofa all day. Then I got up and got ready for work, walked my dog, and, got ready, and then went back to work. That was my whole life for those 5 years. I wish YouTube Live allowed us to heart up the chat. This is so good. Thank you. Yeah, Tanisha says, I cried when I got on the plane for my first solo trip, crying like a baby on the phone with my mom because I was scared. If you haven't cried on vacation, you have not traveled. If you have not cried, you have not traveled yet. I have cried in many an airport. I've cried from fear. I've cried from frustration. I've cried from my luggage was just stolen. This is why you need to know what's happening with other people. We think we're doing something wrong, right? We think we're doing something wrong when really that's just how it goes. But if you don't know other people who have been in a similar situation, you think that you're doing something wrong, that this is a mistake, that, there's a problem. No, sometimes when you're traveling, you cry. Sometimes you get scared. Sometimes you get lonely. And you cry. I have cried many a time in many an airport. I cried one time I was in an airport and I learned that my coworker had died in the airport on Facebook. I can't imagine how bad I looked. I cried like you would not believe. I called my mom. My mom was a hospital chaplain. And I said my coworker just died. And she said, I think I was the one who took care of his family. And she said his name. And I lost it. I lost it in that airport. That's not a relevant story to anything that we're talking about. But I'm just saying, I have cried in many an airport, many a time. And that's what travel is. Travel is doing things even when you're like, ugh, this is different from what I thought it was going to be. It's always different from what you thought, right? I went to Spain. I thought that I was going to have a great time. I had no luggage the whole time. Most of my trip was spent either looking for my luggage, calling the airline because I didn't realize it was stolen. I thought it was just lost. And going to stores and trying to find size 18 clothes in Spain is not easy. It's not easy. I think I spent 75 euros for one pair of capri pants. So that's travel, right? But if I didn't know a community of other travelers, I'd been like, I'm bad at it. I'm not going to do it again. Instead, I knew a community of travelers. I'm in a bunch of Facebook groups. I know a bunch of people who travel all the time. And I know that these things happen. And you got to make the best of it. I still had a great time in Barcelona, believe it or not. I met some women. I went on a bike tour. I met some really friendly women who invited me to hang out with them for a while. Had a good time. Okay, I'm going to answer a couple of quick questions and then I'm going to go because I haven't eaten yet today. How often, and that's not like me. I do have coffee though. How often have you been able to find summer-long house sits? Normally, all the time, right? I do 3-month, that's my thing. I do 3-month house sits. So yes, they're there. This past summer, they did not really exist. People weren't traveling for the full summer. When COVID is better, they'll be back. But that is a thing. That's my bread and butter. Those 3-month house sits are my bread and butter. But it's just hard to say. I would expect them to be back next summer, but I also expected them to be back this fall. So I don't have any prediction on it except that they will be back. Those 3 month long house sits uh, will be back. Okay, so for the last time, I'm going to drop the link to She Sabbaticals. Remember that if you book today, if you join, not if you book, if you join She Sabbaticals today, you will get a one-on-one call with me to jumpstart your planning. So you won't have only the group sessions. You will also have a one-on-one call with me as well. Um, you can do month to month, or you can do the package. Either one. If you book today, you get the call. Countries where people have been locked down are ready to travel and want house sitters. Where they're going through a lockdown part two. I know um, France is going back into a lockdown season. Yeah, so I think that winter's coming and it's not going to be good. I don't know. I ain't no weatherman, or no, I'm not a weatherman. I'm not a doctor. I don't know, but we did talk to doctors for Exodus Summit, and they both said uh, winter's not going to be good. So some places are starting to go through another round of lockdowns. And either way, I have a U.S. passport. Don't nobody want me. so, I'm seriously, Lori, I know that you're house sitting. I'm not super optimistic about international house sitting. Domestic house sitting, yes, I'm all in. I've done house sits here in the U.S. during COVID. Remember, I went to New Orleans in July. So house sitting domestically, yes. We don't want to wait. That's another thing I learned during Exodus Summit. We don't want to wait until we're on our trip, on our sabbatical to travel. We want to do some stuff now for our own well-being. We want to travel now. And we can do that domestically through house sitting. House sitting is COVID-19 friendly, right? You can house sit without having to, you can house sit while social distancing and while following the rules. House sitting fits in really nicely to that. I really need to figure out some work. I need to figure out some work I can do from anywhere. Will Exodus Summit have any more ad hoc talks on this? We will be doing some more talks in the Facebook group. And we've got a few people who did talks already on working from anywhere. If you go to exodussummit.com, you'll see some talks already on either working from anywhere or starting a business where you can work from anywhere. So catch those talks first. And yes, in the group, we'll be talking more about that. For the people who had upgraded, we just did a very good remote work session with Libria Jones, who talks about remote work. I'm going to drop her Instagram. I thought I was. She is Wonder Woman Inc. I'm pretty sure this is Libria. If it's not her, Instagram.com/Wonder Woman Inc. I'm 90% certain that that's Libria. If it's not, then it's not her. Then I'll find her. Cinnamon, yes, Educated Queen. Cinnamon had a very good talk on income from anywhere. Cinnamon, who has a YouTube channel on Portugal, which a lot of you probably will know. Cinnamon's talk on income from anywhere. Claire Soares had a talk on running a business that can lead you to a remote life. And Jakaya Brown Chow, who is the traveling fro, had another good talk on working from anywhere. Jakaya runs her business from Dakar, Senegal. So we did have good talks on exodussummit.com about those things. And we'll have some future bonus sessions as well. Yes. Because so if you're talking about a sabbatical, a lot of us are not considering working during the sabbatical. Good. Don't do it. But a lot of us, like I said, we're talking about a more permanent move, a long-term move abroad. And so, yes, we do need to talk money, and we do need to talk income and jobs. So that information is on exodussummit.com and will continue to be in the Facebook group. We even went live with, I think, all of them. Cinnamon. So on exodussummit.com, you'll see their talks. And then on facebook.com/groups/Exodus Summit, you'll see their live Q&As where they gave even more information. So yes to both of those questions. Ivy, what do you want me to elaborate on? Sugar Babe. I'm sorry, you're talking to Sugar Babe. I'm sorry. Keep chatting with each other. Okay, Panama requires a test within 48 hours. Yeah, so there are places where we can go. There are places where we may not. There are places where we can go today. We may not be able to go in 6 weeks, which is why I'm looking to get to Mexico sooner rather than later. Even though Mexico they never stopped letting us in. I don't want to get caught. I don't want to get caught in wave 2 and not be able to get where I want to go. Yeah, so I'm not saying, Lori, I'm not saying that there's no international house sitting. I'm just saying domestic house sitting is a thing, and it's a good place to get some travel in under your belt while we're waiting for the world to be open back up to us. All right. Okay, I feel like we've covered it all. I said it would be an hour. It's an hour and 5. It was so good to see you guys again. It's been a while since I've been live here on the channel. But then some of you are like, what are you talking about? You've been live every day, because I've been live in other places and in the Facebook group and stuff. So some of you I haven't seen in a long time. Some of you I just saw yesterday. So like I said, I do have a video coming up specifically on groups so that you can find a community of people where you need to go. If you are getting my emails, open my emails, please. I'll be talking more about that in the email newsletter as well. If you just got the toolkit, then you'll be getting those. That is the email. That is the gateway into my email newsletter. So you'll be getting emails from me more about the subject, because that is the biggest takeaway that I got from the summit, that we need a community. We need a community of people, of women who are with us, right? Who are walking alongside us. That's the difference maker. That's the difference between I want to do it and I'm doing it. The community. Don't forget that Sabbaticals is open to you. If you join today, Sunday, you get a one-on-one call with me as a bonus. If you join after Sunday, you still come in. We'll still talk. We'll do the group coaching sessions and you'll meet our awesome community. All right. Thanks so much, friends, for hanging out with me today. I'll see you again, and it won't be this long before I come back. It'll be before the weekend. Before the weekend, I'll put that video up on community. All right. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, Sunday, whatever. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend, and take good care of yourselves. Thanks for coming in, friends. And don't forget, if you're not subscribed already, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Hit that bell and turn on notifications so that you're notified when I post a video. Have a great day. Thanks.